Middle-earth in The Lord of the Rings is not just a fictional world. It's a realm of imagination and profound storytelling that has captured the hearts of millions worldwide. Today, we're diving into the fascinating stories behind the books and films that define this epic saga. The Unexpected Journey, Tolkien's Evolving Vision. J.R.R. Tolkien originally envisioned The Hobbit as a standalone story. However, as he wrote The Lord of the Rings, discovering Bilbo's mysterious ring became the perfect bridge to expand Middle-earth mythology. What began as a continuation of The Hobbit soon evolved into an intricate narrative that would eclipse its predecessor in scope and significance. The length debate, too short or too long. Tolkien grappled with the length of his masterpiece, a challenge that shaped its final form. He aimed to craft a tale of such depth and complexity that readers would lose themselves in its world. Yet this ambition was often at odds with the realities of publishing. Initially, Tolkien felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of the story. In letters to friends, he described the struggle of weaving together numerous subplots and characters. He even considered splitting the story into two smaller books, though this idea was ultimately abandoned. Interestingly, many early readers were struck by the pacing of The Lord of the Rings. While some found the descriptive style captivating, others struggled with the slower sections. However, these details, the languages, the landscapes, and the histories, make Middle-earth feel alive. Unfinished tales in the bigger picture. Tolkien's commitment to creating a fully realized world extended far beyond the pages of The Lord of the Rings. Unfinished Tales and the Silmarillion reveal an extraordinary depth of lore, from the earliest days of Middle-earth to the struggles of the Third Age. These texts offer fans insights into the untold histories of beloved characters. For instance, they delve into Isildur's tragic end, the detailed lineage of the elves, and the unrecorded battles that shaped the fate of Middle-earth. Many of the extended scenes in Peter Jackson's adaptations draw inspiration from these lesser-known works. The filmmakers' decision to incorporate material from Unfinished Tales allowed them to enrich the narrative with layers of backstory, creating a more immersive experience for audiences. Christopher Lee's deep connection to Middle-earth. Actor Christopher Lee, a lifelong fan of Tolkien's works, brought authenticity to his role as Saruman. When he found out that Peter Jackson was preparing a film adaptation, he immediately wanted to participate. Christopher dreamed of playing not Saruman the White, but Gandalf the Grey. Although the outcome was not what he had hoped for, the presence of an expert on Tolkien's work on the set was invaluable. Christopher was honored to talk to Tolkien in person when he met him while visiting the Eagle and Child pub in Oxford, one of the writer's favorite places. Aragorn's casting drama. Viggo Mortensen wasn't Aragorn's first choice. Stuart Townsend was initially cast but left after just 3 days of filming. Viggo was unfamiliar with Tolkien's works and had to play one of the main protagonists next to the actors who had been preparing for filming for months. However, previously he was fond of reading many Scandinavian myths, which at one time served as a source of inspiration for Tolkien. The animation legacy. Ralph Bakshi's 1978 animated adaptation of The Lord of the Rings remains a significant milestone in cinematic history. Although it only covered the Fellowship of the Ring and part of the Two Towers, Bakshi's work introduced Tolkien's world to a broader audience, paving the way for Peter Jackson's adaptations. Bakshi's approach to animation was revolutionary. He used rotoscoping, where live-action footage is traced frame by frame to create realistic movements. While some critics felt the style clashed with Tolkien's fantasy elements, others appreciated its ambition. Despite its limitations, the animated film has become a cult classic among Tolkien enthusiasts. Gollum, a motion capture marvel. Peter Jackson and his team faced a problem when they had to adapt Smeagol for the big screen. As an integral part of the plot, Smeagol requires close-up shots, being almost naked. The New Zealand company Weta Digital, co-founded by Jackson, revived Gollum in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and subsequent Hobbit movies. In addition to the technical aspects of creating the character, they needed an actor who could brilliantly perform the role. And here came Andy Serkis, whose performance became one of the most memorable. He played Gollum while being covered from head to toe with motion capture equipment. The Beatles' ambitious plan. A lesser-known chapter of Middle-earth's history, the Beatles once sought to adapt The Lord of the Rings into a film, with roles for the band members and Stanley Kubrick directing. However, Tolkien disapproved of the idea of a pop group adapting his story, and the project never came to fruition. Bingo Baggins, a forgotten hero. According to David R. Collins' book, J.R.R. Tolkien, Master of Fantasy, when Tolkien began work on The Fellowship of the Ring, he created a character named Bingo, Bilbo's son, to continue the story. However, he did not like it very much, and changed it to Bingo Bolger Baggins, the nephew of the hero of The Hobbit. Initially, it was assumed that Bingo would find the ring, as his father or uncle did. As the story grew darker and more serious, Tolkien realized that Bingo didn't fit the narrative's evolving mood. The name was eventually changed to Frodo, symbolizing the character's depth and resilience. This decision marked a turning point in Tolkien's writing. He did a great job of grounding his characters in more mature identities. This made the story resonate with adult readers while still captivating younger audiences. Meticulous preparations for filming. The production of the Lord of the Rings trilogy required immense attention to detail. From creating realistic costumes to designing intricate battle scenes, the team's efforts ensured an immersive experience rarely seen in cinema. However, the scale of work performed by the crew on the Lord of the Rings films is borderline ridiculous. Over 1,800 prosthetic limbs were created for the main characters during filming. Furthermore, blacksmiths were hired to forge authentic swords and arrows. These brave individuals crafted 10,000 arrows for the Brotherhood of the Ring. But what's most interesting is that a 12-kilometer pipe was cut into 12.5 million separate rings to create the chain armor many characters wore throughout the saga. The Great Balrog Debate. The question of whether Balrogs have wings has divided Tolkien fans for decades. In The Fellowship of the Ring, Tolkien describes the Balrog's shadow as spreading like wings, but he never explicitly states that the creature could fly. Some scholars argue that the ambiguity was intentional, allowing readers to imagine the creature in their way. Peter Jackson's films depict the Balrog with large leathery wings, a choice that adds visual drama to Gandalf's confrontation on the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. However, purists often debate whether this interpretation aligns with Tolkien's vision. While the idea of Balrogs having wings may be appealing, it cannot overcome the fact that Tolkien's writings regarding fire demons have no direct mention of wings. Anyway, the Balrog remains one of the most iconic and terrifying creatures in Middle-earth, and that's amazing. The enduring appeal of The Lord of the Rings lies in its universal themes: friendship, bravery, and the struggle between good and evil. Tolkien's dedication to world-building and Jackson's cinematic vision have ensured that Middle-earth remains a timeless epic. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more exciting adventures.